Good evening, everyone. How are we this evening? Nice sunny evening, isn't it? It turns out nice anyway. That's about it. About the weather. We talk about the weather, don't we? But anyway, let's hope that it's going to be a good discussion tonight. Good comments on everything. Let's hope. Anyway, what about we've signed no players as yet? It's mad, isn't it? I still say we need a number 6. You say that Gravenberch plays well, we've seen people were impressed by him. I was, but we still need another number 6. That's how, if you think about it, when Ipswich opened up in the first half, they just ran through us. They did. They just ran through us. That's why we need a number 6. We're selling players, and seem to be getting them ready. Good evening, Frank. How's your day been today? Paul Taylor. I bought a telly. It cost me a hell of a lot of money, and I mean a hell of a lot of money, and it broke on me. So I got another one, and a lad come down today, and he said I'll have to take it away. So I said okay. So he's took me broken one away. He said I'll give you the ring tonight. I said yeah, okay. Completely forgot, to tell him. So if the phone goes, I'll be worrying. Be in. Dean O'Brien. Hey, Dean. Even if Frank, decent start by the Reds, it's great to get back to the proper foot. Yeah. It is, because, we look at pre-season. We just made up that pre-season's there so you can watch a game of football. But it's the real thing now. It's the real stuff. It's the real stuff. That's what we're concentrating on. I think everybody is, Dean. I think everybody is. Hi, Frank. Nick Falbley. Hiya, Nick. You okay? Thanks for joining us. Ian McCartney. Even a Frank. Even Ian. But as I was saying, listen, you're on there now. Can you tell me if we, or am I wrong? Do we need a number 6? Or do we need to sign someone? I'm not saying it's like panic buying or anything like that, or just buy anybody for the sake of buying because every other club's bought. But I think we do need a couple of players. I really do think. I really do think that, and I'm not just saying that for the sake of saying it. Paul says, I watched the abandoned UEFA Cup game from '73. Never seen Anfield pitch as bad as that. It was a miracle it got played the day after. It's available on YouTube. '73. What? Can you remind me of that, Paul, please? What game is that? Because I was at Anfield when we had to toss up. And the coin, to see who's won the game, because I don't know what happened, it was a drawn game. I think it was against the Romanian side. And the coin sat like that, straight. It never fell, so he tossed it again and we won. Big Ron Yates, that was. Thumbs up from Ian. All right, mate. The Redbirds, 3 points in a clean sheet, not forgetting the toffees lost. Life is as it should be. I was a bit below the belt, wasn't it? High above the belt and below the belt. And we definitely needed possibly a CB, especially if Gomez got. I think he's going, Paul. I really do. Even if, like, my thoughts go out to Darryl and his family at this sad time, 68. Yeah. I've got me lost Shankly boy back. He was on holiday. Shall I bring him on? We've all missed George. You know. And there's this lovely man. He's been on holiday. Never told me. I wasn't gone with him, I think. There he is, anyway, it's George.
Hey, I'm Frank. How you doing? Lovely to see you again. Nice to see your smiling face there. Yeah, Frank, I have been on holiday. I went to the lakes, which was lovely, but there's been a few things going on in the last month, to be honest. You know, I mean, my sister-in-law's in hospital with a really, really serious illness, and she's looking at a very, a life-saving operation coming up soon. So my wife and I have had to go to the hospital every single day. And on top of that, I was diagnosed myself with a thing called polymyalgia, and it's inflammation of the muscles. It's been brought on by after my pneumonia a few years ago, and I'm on steroids for it, and the steroids have done the job. It's brilliant. You know, I've got no aches, no pains, playing golf brilliantly, everything's great, but I've got side effects from the steroids, unfortunately. Short term, you know, my voice is a bit hoarse, and eyes are affecting the vision a little bit. So that's why I really had to sort of come back a little bit just for a few weeks. So now I'm okay. As I say, the steroids have done the job. I've got to be tapering off them in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And hopefully by the end of September, October, the side effects will be gone. I'll be back to normal. And just keep my fingers crossed. My sister comes through.
I got Well, I got private messages, you know, off some of the lads saying, "Where's George?" I said, "Is George lost again?"
I got lost again under a rock in the Lake District.
So, you know, I said he'd be back. Don't be worrying.
It's a pleasure to be back and listen to the chat and speak to yourself. Brilliant, you know.
Well, this is it, you know. Once you're established, you know, people do worry. They really do. So.
Well, I'm all right. I'm all right. You know, I'm all right. I'll be 80 next month, so I'm doing all right.
80.
Still playing good golf 3 times a week.
You'll have to get down and see me. You know, when you're going into town, George, anytime, just come down and see me.
Yeah, I will.
You normally come on a Thursday, don't you?
Yeah, I do normally come on a Thursday. Funny enough, you know, next month in September, we got a reunion that we've organised. 11 of the original Shankly boys. Every one of them played with Shankly in 1960, 61, and 62. Wow. 11 of us. Four of us played in the FA Youth Cup final in 1963. And Paul Moran's coming and Stephen Scragg's coming. And it's going to be a great day, you know. So I'm looking forward to that next month.
That'll be great, That'll be fantastic, you know, with all your old playing partners. Absolutely. But that's great, It really is. I'll just go through some. Nick says boys couldn't slot the ball into the net until the second half. Yeah, you're right there, Nick. You're right. Evening Frank in chat says TW. Oh, that's just before I brought you up there, George. Paul saying Borussia Mönchengladbach at home 1-3-0. Keegan 2. Larry Lloyd scored. Larry the Lloyd, yeah. Hello, George, mate. Say Steve Evo.
Hi, Steve. Hiya.
He says, "Where's George? He lost the game."
I'm pretty blind. I can hardly see the writing.
Dean O'Brien says, "Oh, JK's there. Hiya, JK.
Is he there?
He's gonna get.
He popped in and popped out for a minute there. Hi, JK. Hiya, mate.
Evening, George. Evening, Frank. Hope you're well, boys.
Yeah, and you, mate.
Great to see you, George.
you know
And you,
what?
Frank.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was talking to him, like, it was only me and him. And I'm like, Dad, isn't that right, JK? And I'm like, Dad, I said, JK, you there, JK? He was gone, and I don't know whether he went to Chippy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's popped out.
Anyway, Dino O'Brien, he says, I think we do need some players, and I have a feeling by the end of the window we'll have a few new faces. Clark Gravenberch was excellent, and he's got everything needed to play there, but it would be nice to have a proper six to help him along. Not surprised by Gravenberch. Jürgen said he had the tools to play the holding mid-row. Good put. Welcome back, George, says TW.
Thank you very much, Stevie, TW.
And Yusuf, we were about to send a search party out for George.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have found me.
That and a number 6.
That and a number 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
We found both now. We found both now.
I get my boots on. That could be number 6 now. My age.
Exactly.
Good to be honest, George. Good evening, George. Long time no see. Good to see you again. Hope you're okay, says Paul Turner.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Paul. Thanks very much. Yeah, doing all right. Thanks.
And Yusuf, hope you're okay, George.
Yeah, coming on nicely. Thank you.
Steve says, hope you're okay, George. Great to see you.
Thanks, Steve.
Not lovely. See how well, honestly,
that's lovely.
It, you know.
Ray of sunshine, you know? Nice.
Fantastic Liverpool supporters, every one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. These are a great bunch of lads, to be honest. They really are. Brian, all the Irish lads, he says, good evening, lads. Hope you're both well. Great to see you, George. God bless Darryl and his family. Did you know about Darryl, by the way, George?
No, what's happened?
I was talking this time last week. He phoned me up, and his wife said, "Are you talking to him?" And he said, "Oh, I'm talking to Frank." And she just, in the background, she just said, "Are you Frank?" And I went, "Hey, Louise, are you okay?" And it's the first time I've ever spoken to her. Anyway, she said, "I'm on my way to France with the little Austin and my sister and her kids, We're going on Friday." That was last Friday. So anyway, I said, "Oh, that's great. Have a look at the Bayou Tapestry, She says, "Yeah, I've seen it before." Yeah, she said she'd seen it before, but she will go again because she's going in that area, you see. So anyway, she died that night in the sleep.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know that, Frank. That's shocking.
Yeah.
No, sorry
to tell you that, on air, because that's how I got the news through myself.
Oh, dear.
I was on air.
What a tragedy.
Shocking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, I'll get in touch with him. No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, Frank.
You know what he's like. He's a cracking lad.
He is. He's a smashing lad. Heart of gold. Yeah.
Anyway, you have to go.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mac. All right, Frank, George, JK, and chat. Hope everyone is sound. Yeah,
nice one, Ian. Thank you, well, man.
And stay Evo. All right, JK.
All right, bro. Hope you well, Steve.
And Neil Brother, evening. But what's your thoughts on Slot's tactical, or Sluter? Is it Slut? Slut's tactical change on Saturday, replacing Conte with Conte. The game seemed to change dramatically. Do you think it was a coincidence? I'm going to take you up on that, George.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I thought Saturday was a big test for Liverpool. You're playing against a team that had been 22 years since they came in the Premier League. The fans were obviously up for it, the team was up for it, and you could see that in the first half, the way they played the high press and attacked us, chased every ball. I saw one episode there when I think it was Delap trapped the ball and outpaced young Kwanzaa on the wing, and he came into the box. And remember thinking about that. I went, why has that happened? Anyway, as far as the question there, I think it was the right decision. I think it was a brave decision, and I think it actually showed the rest of the team that he's serious. Slot made a mark there, I think. Okay, I felt sorry for Shallow because he's a great player. He'll come again. He's it's just a lesson. Maybe he just had an off day, and he sat in the substitutes bench. He looked a bit bereft, but I think it was the right decision, and it proved to be the right decision because Konate played really well second half. It tightened things up a bit and allowed the play to go forward and get Trent on the ball and Salah, and we started to play like the champions we are, or the team we are. So there's a marked contrast between the first half and the second half. The first half was very poor, very few shots on goal, a bit pedestrian. Second half was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Well, what?
Frank.
But as you said, we agree with that. I don't think Sloot isn't afraid to change his mind about players. If they're playing well or if they're playing not so well, he'll take them off. And Konate, you could see the experience in him when he did come on. The experience was oozing out of him. And we destroyed them. We absolutely destroyed it.
Could have been six, couldn't it? Could have been six.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Yeah.
We've got to take these chances this season. We can't afford to keep Jota miss one from 5 yards. That's got to go.
That header.
Yeah. But then he scored a few minutes later, though. Thank God.
Yeah.
You see Jota, and that header, let's be honest, when he headed it, I thought it was going to go in. You must have thought, everyone else thought it was going to go in. And he was 6 yards out. He never misses a header. Well, it was just one of those things. Then he came back and that was the goal he scored. When you see it again from behind the goal, the goalkeeper bigging himself, and he had to put it right in the side net, if you know what I mean.
But his left foot
could have easily have missed. The goalkeeper could have easily have got it. Easily. So JK, what Neil Broderick about bringing on Konate, it changed the game more or less. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it was like I wouldn't say a risky decision, but normally you don't see a manager changing centre backs in a game early on like that. It's normally an attacker or a midfield player. Very rarely you see a defender getting subbed at half time. I think with Kwanzaa, I think he needs to keep his feet on the ground because I didn't like his look of his face at half time in the second half when he was just sitting there. He didn't celebrate when we scored our first goal, and I was like, yeah, he's disappointed, don't get me wrong, but this time last year, he wouldn't be thinking he's going to be first choice for Liverpool, next to Virgil, so he's got that step, he's done that step, and he was in the first team for the first game of the season under Slot. I think he did one block. Do you remember when Virgil did a pass and he made a bit pear-shaped? That block there, that was worth him being on the pitch for. So he did his job in that circumstances, in that situation. So for me, I hope Slot said to him, you know what, that block you did for us, top lad. I'm going to just bring Konate on now just to clean it up or whatever you want to do with Konate. And I think Konate coming back was probably the best I've seen him since a long time. So it worked out pretty well, him coming back onto the pitch.
Yeah.
Slot was quite honest on his opinion, wasn't he? He said, we weren't winning enough duels. And he was right, really, we weren't. We're losing the ball a bit more in the first half. And he was quite blunt. I was quite surprised he was so blunt when he was asked the question, is it a tactical switch or is it? He said, no. Yeah, he said, yes, not an injury. I've changed it because it was better for the team. So all credit to him. That's what managers are supposed to do, aren't they? Klopp used to do it great, didn't he? He used to make great substitutions. But I've never seen Klopp take somebody off as bluntly as that.
No,
that's the thing.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, but I hope, George, he don't sort of stand on some people's feet, when he's doing that, because at the end of the day, Conte could go in a strop, in training a bit lackluster into the next game if he gets picked against Brentford, not as sharp as he was when he was, like when he's sort of knowing he's going to be playing next game. I think there's an art to do that to players, like letting them down easy,
Yes,
I'm not a big fan I'm not a big
That's a
fan
skill.
of.
That's a skill, hey, JK.
It's a
That's a
skill.
skill of management. And I hope,
Exactly.
I'm sure that Slot will sit down with Kwanzaa this week, have
Yeah.
a heart-to-heart with him, build him
Yeah.
up, tell him, look,
I
son,
hope
that
so
was
as well.
off, you know.
Yeah,
So I don't really want him to do
Get
that,
his
man.
arm around him, you know.
Yeah,
You
just
see-
tells him, you know what, there was a reason behind it. You're still my first choice, or whatever it is, you know. I just
Yes.
don't hope he sort of, you know, like one thing Klopp did the best was that what you just said about his man management and in the way he'll swap players around. Very rarely, I think I've seen Salah once in all them years be a bit stroppy coming off.
Yeah,
Just
remember
once,
that.
you know. Do you remember when him and Klopp had a bit of an argument on the sideline that time?
Yes.
Before he came on, actually. He was subbed that day. Yeah, so I hope Slot has that management skill where he's sort of not being harsh for the cameras, you know, to show the people, like, I mean, business. I want he does it discreetly, does it really like the way Klopp did it, you know, keep it undercover. Whatever the decision was, it's his decision, you know. I don't think there was a need for him to say it was a tactical decision. I don't think there was a need to do that, you know, because at the end of the day, it was a tactical decision because Kwanzaa wasn't hurt. So I think fans sort of can realise that pretty quick, you know, themselves. I just don't want him to sort of pinpoint players, the reason why he subbed this guy. Just say, yeah, make him an excuse. I don't know. Look, you can tell the player behind the scenes, yo, I changed it because of this reason.
Yeah, because he's a young player, isn't he? He's a young player.
Yeah.
He's just starting his career, really. So you want to keep a motivation there. I think he
Uh-huh.
might well still play on Saturday, you know.
Well, I think that
Hope so.
Slot, you know, Sleep would have a words with him. I don't think that he'd just ignore him
No.
or anything like that. I really do think he'll have a man-to-man, so
He's
to
the
speak.
future, isn't he? He's the future, one of the
Yeah,
future.
he is the future. He's great as Kwanzaa. I love him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Leave his kids, even in Frank, George, and JK, and Chap Paul Bay.
Yes, Lee.
Ellie.
Good evening, boys. Good to have the crew back. You never walk alone.
We got some hip hop group, us three. NWA.
Evening, JK.
Evening, bro. TW. Hope you're well, man.
And the Redbird. Is this lost boy a fraud? Because Frank keeps finding him. Sends some blessings to you and your family, George.
Thank you so much, Redbird. Yeah.
That's Redbird.
I keep running away and he keeps dragging me back.
Yeah.
Like the Godfather. Do you remember that line? And they keep pulling me back.
Yeah.
With his assistant, JK.
Oh, that's great. Paul Turner, evening, JK. Hope you're okay.
I'm all good, bro. Hope you are, Paul.
Redbird, big up, JK.
Bless, bro.
And big up, JK, says the Redbird.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, everyone, says Edward. Hello, Edward.
Edmund.
Hope you're okay.
Hello, Ed.
But Lum's brother. You missed that, haven't you? You missed the lovely names that come out. Just needs Manzos and Fennell for the dream team, Scott, and JK in a flat back four. How about that?
Nice.
I'll take the penalties.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but Lum's brother. The Scottish Bear. Good evening, Frank, JK, George. Hope you're all doing well. God bless Darrell and his family. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Best wishes, Darrell. Result Ipswich. It's early days. Worrying Fenway selling off the kids and short-sighted to be selling off Kells. Keller, that is. Joe Gomez. Ryan looks gangly in tackle, will concede free kicks. That's Ryan Gavenberg he's talking about. That's Chris. He says that. Brian says, George, I really hope you're feeling better. How's you, JK? Hope you're well. Was George away looking for his golf ball?
I don't lose many.
Brian.
More mentions of golf. He's looking for his golf balls. what someone said actually a while back. Looking for George, it's like looking for a new sign and very difficult, says Paul. Say. So listen, chat. If you're what do you think we need? What do you think? Do we need players? Do we really need players, or will this squad do? Because as Chris Dick said, we're selling players. And I think Joe Gomez, I think he'll be gone myself. I really do. What do you think, UK?
We definitely know what we need. We've known for a long time what we need. Gravenberch starting there at the weekend, it wasn't a surprise really. He was the name getting pushed into that. He's going to start in that sort of position. I think he played pretty well. But still, I like my security, when I know if the number 6, our regular number 6, who would come in, if he was going to come in, and he's not playing, he's got injured or he's got a red card or whatever it is, that we know we've got Gravenberch who could do that role. But I don't want to be having Gravenberch as my sole starter as in that position. I want a guy who's like Rodri. I always said this, if we had Rodri in our team, we're winning everything. That's how important the DM position is. I think probably one of the most important positions after the goalkeeper is the DM. So we've got the goalie in today, I think, the Georgian guy. It looks like that's sort of pushing forward now. That's the latest I heard in the last hour or so. But for me, the goalkeeper situation wasn't the first thing on my to-do list. For Edwards and them lot. For me, was that number 6 position. We went for that guy from Spain. Rumours were that we still might be going back in for him, but I think that's just social media talk, not paper talk, social media talk. So yeah, I just want that one number 6 in, like a guy who can just sit all day and just break things down, get stuck in, get tackled. He can do tackles.
Yeah.
What about you?
Really a key position, isn't it? A really key position, the number 6. Our 2 biggest rivals, Man City and Arsenal, both got brilliant number 6s. You got Rodri, you got what's his name, Saliba, you got Rice. You got these guys that can sort of do it in the midfield, break the attacks up, set the ball forward. Gravenberch, I thought, played really well the weekend. Whether it's a one-off, whether it's a flash in the pan, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We need a DM if we can get one. We've only got 2 weeks to do it, though.
Yeah, we have. And, I've always thought, JK, myself and yourself, George, from last season, saying about a number 6, bringing in a number 6. And we were all absolutely delighted with this Zubamendi.
Yeah, it would have been good, yeah.
Would have been good, but we didn't realise that it was going to fall through. Yeah. So I'm not getting into the arguments of who was to blame or anything, because I do know that Sociedad just wanted the full money. The owner came out, or the chairman, and said, we don't want negotiations over prices and installments. We want the full asking price. And then we started to negotiate installments. And they must have just got fed up and said, oh, sod off. Yeah. That was the end of it. That's in my opinion, anyway.
I admire his loyalty to Sociedad, but I mean, he must lack a little bit of ambition, because if you get the chance to go to Liverpool, 6 times European champions, top 4 in England, and you sit with Sociedad, middle of the Spanish league, I know he's loyal and I admire that, as I say, but he's not going to achieve a lot more with Sociedad than he's doing at the moment.
Yeah. Exactly. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking, what's this guy's? What's he want to do in his career? Does he want to stay there all his life? Because at the end of the day, Arsenal have been in for him. Bayern and us now. I said he's waiting for Real Madrid, because there's no other team who he's waiting for. Who else can he really, really wait for? He wouldn't go to PSG, or unless they give him like 300 grand a week or something. So I'm just wondering, what's this guy's aim in football? Does he want to stay there, or does he want to go to new pastures new and sort of get his career underway? You know, he's not such a big name. He's a big name. He's had a few good seasons with Sociedad now.
Yes.
He scored a goal in the Euros. He's a good little player. Don't get me wrong, but for me, he needs to be playing Champions League to see the best out of him. You know, so that was the only thing I was thinking. What's his mission in football? What does he want to do?
Yeah. I'll just go through a few. There's some good comments here, boys. I'll just go through a few of them. TW says, what I liked with Trent was he moved into midfield, and as soon as we lost the ball, he was back in position as a fullback. Didn't see that last season. That comment there, they got moved. They on a breakaway when McAllister lost the ball and
into the box.
And he was away, that lad. But two players ran back and he went full speed. And I didn't have seen him go. And that was Trent and also Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai got back as well. You know, he's very, I didn't realise how quick Szoboszlai is, to be honest.
He looks sharp this year,
yeah. Chris says, Jürgen subbed Dijal in the first half as a centre-back at Spurs. We lost it 4-1. You know, that's like getting subs and the Scottish Bear, Frank, being a former Olympic boxer and former professional, I like the accountability with Sloot. He has to be consistent with his accountability. I think that's a very good comment.
Yeah.
Nice comment.
It's a very, very good comment. And he's a former Olympian now. Is that
well, should be very proud to get to that level.
I'm glad I've never argued with him.
Just to get to the Olympics is a fantastic achievement.
Absolutely. When I was 16, I got in the ring. You know, I used to go training to our, it was called the Transport House, by where I lived. And I went down, forget his name, Pat Dwyer. And he went to the Olympics. A fella named Pat Dwyer from Scotty Road. And anyway, you know, he's in there, you know. He said, look, I won't eat you, just dance around me. So I said, all right. Dancing around him, and he tapped me there. I flew across the ring. That was my end of my boxing. That was the end of the boxing. Unbelievable. But anyway,
yeah, I love boxing.
I do. I always love boxing.
Used to do it.
I had a very famous great uncle, and he was known as the Liverpool Wop at Madison Square Garden. He was my granddad's brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the only boxer then. I'm going back to the 30s. He was the only boxer then to have 7 fights, British boxer that is, to have 7 fights at Madison Square Garden, and didn't lose. He won 6 and drew 1.
Wow.
You know, one come through.
Some great boxers in those days, in the 30s, you know. I remember a guy called Billy Gannon. He used to come up to Anfield, and he fought Miles Carlton at Anfield Stadium, about 50,000 there. Well, I think it was a lightweight title back in the 30s. I used to know Alan Rudkin quite well too. And his brother, he was great, wasn't he?
It's a shame what happened to him, though, you know.
Yes. I'm still in touch with his son. He lives out in Spain.
Yeah. Brian says, good teams fix things, and we were brilliant second half. We were always going to win, but I'd like a touch of more ignorance out of the team against lower teams. But I'd like a touch of more ignorance. I think he means aggressive. Yeah, I think he means that. Don't forget goals are with the magic sponge. Yes.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
You can't miss your chances.
No.
You're going to have to be clinical.
This lad always comes on. He's a blue, you know, Richo. He always comes on.
Good lad.
He looks nice. Evening, he says. Top class DM and a centre half. Defo still needs it before the deadline, says Ian Mack.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
TW, goalkeeper, CB, IB, DM, hands of please, yeah.
That's a
Let's see.
Christmas. That's a Christmas list. That one. You know what I mean?
That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
We have to wait and see. I don't think the proper coach will. He thinks that he's a yes man, you see. But, it's everyone's opinion. We'll change much in the way the Reds play. Jaeger would have played the game not much differently. The squads will have to big up. I think he's right there. The last sentence is we can't go out either first half or second half the way we did in the first half against.
We start quicker, haven't we? We've got to start quicker.
We have to. It's a simple. That's why we need a number 6, because I mentioned at the beginning, George and JK, once they got the bit between the teeth, they were going through us. And they could have easily have had a couple of goals. Easily.
But I think they just had nerves. I wouldn't say they were nervous. First game away from home against a promoted team, early kickoff. I just think it took a little bit of time for the players to settle. That first half was just a little bit jittery. But I think that team talk at half time sort of settled them down. That little switch from Kwanzaa to Kanate, he sort of settled the team down. And the second half, totally different team,
Oh, yeah, completely.
Would you agree?
One of the things this season we're going to have is injuries. If we can keep clear of major injuries. If you start getting injuries, that's when you might find a few problems. For the key players, because a lot of the younger lads have gone now, haven't they? They've been loaned out, or they've been sent to other clubs out on loan or sold. So we haven't got the big strength and depth beyond the big first team squad. You've got a great first team squad, to be fair, really powerful. But if you start getting injuries, then that might be a struggle. The other thing is with Salah and Trent, and contracts, this season, it's a big dilemma for Liverpool. What do we do? Do we let the contracts run out to the end of the season and hope we can get top 4 or win the league with these guys and then get 100 grand for them? Because we won't get much money for them if the contract's out, will they?
No.
I mean, no. Trent, somebody said you'd only get 30 million for Trent.
Do you know what might happen? What might happen? I'm only, just might. They might let Salah's run out. And, he'll go somewhere else, and that's the big payoff for him, from Liverpool by going on a free. So whatever he commands, a signing on fee, that is, for another club. So that might happen. But then again, there's another couple of seasons in Salah.
Oh, easy. Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
He's a fit.
Unless you give him a 2-year one, or, an extended 1-year one, if you know what I mean. And do it that way. We're
definitely going to have them for this season, I would imagine, anyway. So we can win the league this year, or win a few trophies, or get up in the top 4. Then probably the club will see that being worth it.
Well, there's one for you, George. Then JK, you just carry on, JK, from when George answers it, then I'll answer it myself. Need to keep Diaz as well. He is top class, and we need him this season, says Ian Mack. George.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Diaz is a great player. I know he gets criticised by some of the fans, but I don't really see why. I know he could score more goals. I mean, he missed a sitter on Saturday when he lobbed it over the keeper and over the bar. But he's fast and he's quick and he causes havoc. And you just have to give him the ball, and away he goes. I think he's a great player. I think he's a big part of the club. I'd hate to lose him. Hate to see him go. I don't think he will go, to be honest. Not in the short term. I think he's a super player. Him and Jota, And Salah up front, and Nunes coming in, and Gakpo. Some quality players there up front we got. So we don't want him to move anywhere.
Okay. JK.
Yeah, for me, what Diaz brings to the team, he's probably the best in the league at it, keeping the ball. So for me, that's what his purpose is in the team. So for me, I'd keep Diaz, and he's on low wages as well.
I'd give him more. I'd increase his wages.
So would I. So would I. Well, here's my take. But before I tell you, can I ask the people, who's looking in, if you haven't subscribed and press the likes, please, to get the algorithm up there, to get me, it's not just like George and JK and myself and sometimes the Foz and Daryl, it's to get us out there. It's to get us out there. So subscribe, please, and, press the likes. Thank you so much. Well, there's my take on Diaz. Yes. I'd keep him. We discussed this last season, if you remember, George.
Yeah.
Remember when our defence was coming under so much pressure, the back end of the season, and the ball was always lobbed out to him, and he was away. Yeah. He was away to their 18-yard box, the opposition's 18-yard box, and that was relieving, our defence. Also, on Saturday, did you see that ball? He got the ball. It was like they had a corner or a free kick or something, I can't remember. And the ball was just got to him. And he hit it in one turn. Through to Mo? Was it Mo? I forget it was two, but I think it was Mo. Fantastic ball it was. And that's what he can do. He can do that. I think he is great. So I go along with you, George.
They don't grow on trees.
And
great ball Van Dijk gave to Salah, wasn't it? That long ball for the second goal.
And there's Herbert Lom's brother says we definitely need a centre back and midfield because the squad is getting less by the minute. That's a powerful statement. Small centre, powerful statement, and it is getting less by the minute.
Yeah, because the midfielders we've got are all very similar, aren't they? Curtis, Harvey, McAllister, Szoboszlai, they're all similar, skillful players. None of them's a killer.
No. But I thought Szoboszlai played well. I thought he was great in the second half.
Yeah.
Because I think he had the freedom. I'm sorry, George, go on.
I put him in my fantasy football team.
Have you? Oh, we've got a fantasy football. Can I show you?
My son organised it, so I joined him. I put Szoboszlai in. I got Salah.
That's
the prize, George. Yeah. You can join us, George. We set up a league for our channel, so you can just put that code in the leagues part, and you can join our league. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not brilliantly technical, JK. That's the only thing.
Can you say that again, sorry? What do you say, George?
I say I'm not brilliantly technical.
Oh, okay. I can help you, no problem.
All right, mate. I might do. I'm already in my son's one, so that was hard enough.
Well, Francine and Ben, my grandson, they were down to see me yesterday, and they joined it. I said, we've got a fantasy thing, and she looked on it, and they both joined JK.
Good.
Ben and Francine. So
you got the league going right through the season.
Yeah.
You got prizes.
An evening with Frank is the prize.
I didn't know that.
I'll do it.
An evening with Frank.
No, we can set up something for the winner. No problem.
Yeah.
We'll get something.
And what we'll do, I can also once every week or every 2 weeks go through the league table, how many points people have got, have a little half an hour on that or something.
Yes, Yeah, that'll be good. You know, after a few games, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
It's
That'll
good
be
fun.
great.
It's good fun, I must admit. I look at the results every week. We've only had one week of cup so far.
Who was your captain, George? Who did you
Yeah, I've
captain?
got Salah as my captain.
Yeah, same as. You have to. He's the go-getter. He's the one who gets all the points.
You got me 14 points on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, here's one for you again, George. But I go along with this, lad. Our Andy looks burnt out. Robbo, not the same player.
Yeah, it worries me a bit because I'm a big fan of Robbo. You know that, Frank. I've always been a big fan of Scotch.
Yeah.
Admire him, admire his energy and his commitment and what he's done for the club over the last, 6 or 7 years, Yeah, I thought he was a bit slack in the first 15 minutes. Gave the ball away a couple of times, looked a bit slow on the turn. And Tsimikas looked quite good when he came on. So I think
Yes.
he needs to, as a phrase of the moment, he needs to big up.
Well, do you reckon, getting back to Robertson, do you think that over the injury he had,
Yeah, I
it was
think
a
so.
bad injury to his shoulder, then he got injured again in the Euros.
Yeah.
To me, especially when he was chasing that fella out in the first few minutes, and he pushed him in the back.
Yeah.
By the touchline there, and I thought, he's, a couple of years ago, he was a caution.
Yeah, he flew past him. He speeds down the wing. It's just a little bit off the pace at the moment.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad that you mentioned Tsimikas there because he did come on, he played great.
Yeah.
And I think that Robbo needs to get up to speed again, So
yeah, they'll be having a
he
fight.
could do the same
Having a
again.
fight for that position, the two of them.
Yeah, he could do the same with him as he did with Quansah, couldn't he? Talking about sleep.
Yeah.
What do you think, JK, about that particular? What Scottish Bear says because he's a big fan of Robertson as well.
Yeah, for me, Robertson probably one of the best signings into Klopp. When you look at the price,
8 million.
Sorry, Josh.
8 million. That's all it costs.
8 million.
Yeah, 8 million. So like peanuts when you look at it, really. But I just feel the thing with Robertson is he's too much full of energy. Like he don't pace himself. I think he's at that age now where if he paced himself better, he would be a better player. And what was it? Last season we were playing someone when he came back from his injury. He was running into situations, and I'm thinking, "Where you going, bro? Like, come on, slow down a little bit,
Yeah.
Robertson's like that. He's just like a steam train, He's always been like that. And I think he's at the stage where he don't really do that as much. I think he just needs to sit down and realize what his age is. Like for me, he still looks fit as a fiddle. He probably lost a little bit of pace. I'm not sure, but he just looks fit. So it could be a mind thing, trying too hard, trying to impress the new manager maybe. So I hope Robertson, he's very experienced, so he should know where he's at. I was surprised to see him starting on Saturday.
Well, do you reckon that there'll be rotation between him and Tsimikas through the season?
So. I think
Probably
so.
will be. Yeah, I think there will be, Frank. I think so.
Yeah.
Robbo's not that old, is he? I mean, he's not. Is he 30 yet?
Yeah, 30.
Just about 30. So he's got a few years there. Should have, shouldn't he?
Oh yeah, but no one's saying anything there. We've all cottoned onto him. With those injuries, it's nothing else but those injuries. That was a terrible injury to his.
He's had a few, hasn't he? He's had a few bad injuries. Yeah. His legs, shoulder.
Yeah, his leg.
It's a good thing when two people are fighting for a position, though. It raises the game.
Yeah.
So it's good if you've got two people fighting for a position,
And isn't it strange, though, the way Tsimikas got injured when he broke his collarbone as well?
Yeah.
The two of them out. The two of them, same injury. Neil Broderick, what does Neil say? He says it's got to be considered we might lose Verge, Trent and Mo next season because of the contract situation. Surely they would be concerned about Liverpool's lack of activity in the transfer window. I would expect a club of our stature to sign at least a couple of players each season. And all as I know is that the Shanks did it, and so did Paisley, Bob Paisley.
They did.
That's what they did.
So should we. Oh.
Yeah, I think so as well. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, same as.
I mean, they've been here a while now, Edwards and Hughes, haven't they? Really, and that's what they're here for. They're here to negotiate transfers, sort the data, and support the coach. So we need to wait and see what happens in the next 10 days, 15 days.
Well, that goalkeeper, Martian Villi, whatever his bloody name is, you know, I haven't heard you say anything about Liverpool incoming or anything, nothing. The only time I've heard him say is, oh, we lent him to Bournemouth.
Yeah, he's very quiet. He won't have anything.
But he's mentioned Bournemouth
Yeah.
rather than Liverpool. He's not with Bournemouth anymore. And that annoyed me, that. It really annoyed me.
And his goalkeeper's not going to come till 2025 anyway. And look at Man United are in for him now, trying to get him.
And as Max says, he agrees there. He just says, we're surprised he started on Saturday. 70 odd minutes under his belt, though. Will do Robbo good. Yeah, of course it will. Of course it will. And I think the Scottish. He says he needs a long rest, Robbo. The lad is knackered. But what a left back. And that's it. That's Brian. He's saying, to be honest, he did in the first half hour. He just looked well out of his depth. Anyway, despite Diaz's output, he's still well better than Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. And I agree with you there, Herbert Long's brother.
I do.
I do. And Richard Hutchinson. Hi, Frank, George, JK, and chat. How are you? And also, how's your family? That's to you. Then. Please do break down Ipswich Town game. Next game, Brentford. Line up and prediction. Many thanks. Well, we've got one on Thursday, I'm afraid, so we'll be predicting and we'll be predicting the team. Mm-hmm. But I think Konate is definitely in that team against Brentford. I think he's Virgin, besides the usual, the likes of Mo. I think Konate over Gerald Clonson. I think he'll be playing. That's what I think.
2 home games now. 2 home games.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2. When's the next game? Is it next? It's a midweek game, isn't it? I think.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean the game after Saturday.
Not Forest.
Is it a midweek game?
The following Saturday.
Oh, the following Saturday. I'm sorry, George.
We've got Brentford on Sunday at 4:30, and then we've got United.
Yeah, 4:30. Yeah.
Then we've got United away the week after. So
no, it's not Forest the week after. Home.
No. Forest is the 14th of September. I think is it an international break after the United game? We've got a break.
I thought it was Brentford, then Forest, then United.
No, it's United, then Forest.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got the
United. We should beat them. What we usually do.
I got the Premier League app open.
Yeah.
No, I think we've got international break, and I think because I don't like international breaks anyway. So after that, we've got Forest at home, so that's all right.
God blimey, that international break. When's that?
Yeah.
That's
just the United game. Yeah.
God blimey.
What
for? Why an international?
God knows.
Why?
They just had the Euros all summer.
Yeah.
How pathetic.
Have you noticed how international football has become more prominent in football? Like, it's like the Nations League, that league they sort of made up for friendlies. They're going to have friendlies and might make it into a league, And I'm thinking we just had the Euros. Yeah. Do they really need an international break straight away? No. Is it for the World Cup? It can't be for the World Cup. It has to be friendlies. Because they wouldn't even make the draw for the World
Premier
Cup.
League to start. We've waited ages.
Yeah.
whole summer.
I'd rather give players 2 weeks off. I tell you the truth. Recuperate for them from the start of the season. Like, give them a break, man. That's why footballers are getting injured more often. They're playing too many games. I said that. Like, us guys love it. I love watching football. Don't get me wrong, but when it costs my centre back like Virgil his legs for the season, I'd rather him not play. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
That's what Jurgen used to say. Jurgen used to say that, didn't he? Too many games.
Yeah.
Jurgen was the one guy who pushed he was looking at the health of the players, hence the 5 subs coming into football now. That was Jurgen Klopp did that, and I think Jurgen, because he played himself, he knew about that. They're getting overplayed. Okay, Jurgen didn't play for Germany and such, but he knows the responsibility and the time spent playing football. Guys need a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these guys have been in South America.
Yeah. Playing friendlies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Brian says only playoffs very, very narrow in the first half, no width at all. All down the middle will take a while to get used to. Then it teams with the width second half. Yes.
I think the first half was a scorey half. He wanted to keep it tight. He didn't want to go over the top attacking wise. Just to see what the speed of the game's like, in the Premier League. It was his first game in England. Like, he had the friendlies abroad. Actually, he had that friendly the week before, the Betis one. Not at Betis. Who did we play? The Sunday before at Anfield. We had 2 friendlies. So for me, I think it was just like, when you go swimming and just to see how cold the water is, you put your feet in there just to see it, the temperature. And that's what that first half was like, first slot.
Yeah, my two sons went down there. They were at the match, and they were saying it was an amazing atmosphere, and the crowd were really bouncing because because of the situation back in the Premier League, and that passed on to the players, and it made it a bit more difficult for Liverpool, I think, until they ran out of steam, and then we just turned on the class.
Yep.
Well, anyway, Richard Hutchinson says first game we need to play better, win all the duels, first, second balls, tackle headers, physical duels, aerial duels, and fight for every ball. That's what he says.
Absolutely.
Evening, lads. There's points for us.
Evening, Shane.
And the Anfield Roar. Remember it, them likes for Frank's algorithms.
Bless Anfield.
Yeah, there we go.
I used to be a boxer. My name was Picasso. Never off the canvas. We had a mate, he's no longer with us, and he was a boxer, bit of an heavyweight, and he had the nickname Canvasback.
It's a tough sport.
And they used to say, I like canvas. All right. Tough sport. Very much so. Everyone like, comment, share, and subscribe, says Richard Hutchinson. Thank you, Richard. And the Anfield Roar. Thank you. The Ali News. Ali, I will be, I'm sorry. I've been so busy. He's a lovely fella.
From Romania,
Yeah.
Yeah, Romania, yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. He got hold of me, and I just can't. I haven't had time. I'm just going to go right down. Richard Hutchinson. Richard Hughes is a fraud. And what has he done in his role at the club? Michael Edwards' mate is Richard Hughes. Yeah, I know, we know. They are mates. So is Anna Sloot. So I always lose this blood. There it is over there. It's shocking, I'm sorry about this, boys and girls. Yeah. The bear says Robert Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, yeah.
is 36 and still world class. Mo is similar, never injured, looks after his body. The Lords of consistency is Mo, 4-year contract. Please, Liverpool. And that's the Scottish bit.
He's completely dedicated, Mo. His fitness is unbelievable.
What a pro.
He trains, his best trainer in the club, apparently. Fittest member of the club.
Oh, there's Daryl there, look. Even if Frank can get this.
Oh, bless bro, Daryl. How you cool?
We've all been talking about you, Daryl. We've all been talking about you. Like the Anfield Roar. Daryl, how are you doing, lad?
Keep your chin up.
Daryl, brother, God bless you, fella.
Yeah.
And he replies by bearing up.
Never walk alone, mate.
Yeah, man.
Read the whiz, kid. So sorry for your loss, Daryl.
Yeah, it puts life into perspective, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just. Tony says, sorry for your loss, Daryl. We'll see what Neil says. Question, boys. Who was Klopp's best signing? I'm going for Mane. He was a massive loss for us when he left, and he kept Mo on his toes. I'll start with you, JK.
Look, I've got a list. I can't say this guy because for me, I'll probably go for Virgil. Then I can go for Alisson, you know. Mane left, we didn't look the same, so I can go for him. So there's so many guys who I can go for, so I can't really say it's this guy. But if I had to choose one out of the whole lot, it probably has to be Salah. Because without his goals, we're not doing anything really. So for me, Salah.
He breaks every season. He breaks a record.
It's got to be Salah.
It's got to be Salah. It's got to be.
He has 350 games and he's scored 300 goals and 50 assists or something.
Yeah,
unbelievable. It's
crazy.
It's
something
just
stupid like that.
Nuts. It's nuts.
Incredible. I'll tell you the one that gives me a lot of the pleasure. I think he signed him, Firmino.
Yeah, my favourite out of the three is Firmino.
He was unbelievable. I loved watching him.
Yeah.
He had style, didn't he, Firmino?
Yep.
I'll just say these, lads, to Daryl. Bless you, Daryl. I've no words, big fella. Hope you can stay with us, lad. You're a top lad, Daryl. Says Brian.
Nice words, man.
And I love this name. Shahzad Smith. Sorry for your loss, Daryl. Thoughts and best wishes to you and your family.
Nice one.
Nice words.
That is nice. That is. This is Hutchinson. What do you think about Brian Why have we got all these mad names? Mabumo.
Bueno.
And that's, well, all right. You've been on your holidays, not saying. I think he goes away with it.
See it, Frank, I'm guessing.
It goes away with a dictionary.
You're all blurred.
It's all blurred. Inacio, Gooey, Gertrude, never heard of him. Anthony Gordon, Jared Brantwaite, Bruno Guimaras, this is that Mama Dashberry, Martin Zubermendi, and Leon Goretzka. Blimey, thanks, Richard.
That's a list.
I see what you mean about the names. Wow. Had you been a commentator?
Gee.
The sounds George Shefton did it. It was not half funny. And they were all mad names. I mean, mad names, big, long, mad names, you know, like that Mama Dashberry. And he was got, and he couldn't pronounce them. And he went, and number 23 coming on for number 14 is. I couldn't pronounce the name. Oh, so
I mean,
funny.
imagine if that was a team. If that was a team, imagine trying to commentate on that team.
That'd be mad. Anthony Gordon's the easiest one.
He's an
Yeah.
easy one.
And you know what? I think Tingy will get the man of the match because that's all that I'll be saying. And Tingy's got it. Oh, Tingy scored. That's it. Yeah, Tingy man of the match. Whoever Tingy will be. Darryl says, thank you for the kind words. Hit the likes for Frank. Amazing man. Oh, thank you, Darryl.
Nice one, Daryl.
Oh,
Yeah. What a man.
God, blimey. And Paul says, hello, Darryl. Hope you and your son are okay.
Yeah. That's the hardest part, really. Yeah.
And Shahzad says, our new 6 less said FSG out. Our new 6 less said FSG out. We need to give current players new contracts, says Richard. And he also says FSG have no ambition. And he also says Quansah will learn and improve. I think that's a good
point. He will.
It will. Yeah.
As long as he does it with a smile and not be stroppy, sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah,
not
you can't afford to
score.
dummy out. You can't.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I wouldn't play him on Sunday just because of that. Yeah. The guy needs to learn. It's a team game. Yeah. You know, he's not. How old is he? 20? 19, 20?
Yeah, yes.
Like, come on.
I mean, the likes of Harvey Elliott wasn't even playing, or Nunes.
Yeah.
No.
See, Harvey Elliott, he sports Liverpool, yeah, and he's had bits and he's never been a starter regular. You know, he's come on as sub. He's been subbed off. I've only seen him the once. He got subbed off and he sort of whacked the chair like he was a bit wound up. You remember? And like for me, that's okay. But the thing is with
Quansah's nobody likes getting taken off, do you? Nobody likes.
No one does. Yeah.
No.
I never used to like being taken off.
No. Well, Shahzad Smith says, best LFC podcast, you and Born Red and Anfield's Agenda and Whoosome Talk Proper Facts. What go on LFC? Well, that's nice for
Thank you. That's nice, isn't it?
Lots of it, you know. But the Anfield's Agenda, I don't know so much about that. I'm not being horrible. The Anfield Row. Richard Hutchinson. Mabueno I like. Inacio not sure. Dewey not for that price. Gertrude nah. I've never heard of him. It says Gertrude, isn't it? You know, another just player, isn't it? Why can't they just have, Naskins, name like that? Naskins or Cruyff. Gordon, yes. Brantwaite, yes. Bruno, not realistic. Zubermendi can get bent. Frank, just reading Martin Deal close 35 million, then loan back to Valencia. Joins Liverpool next summer. And that's saying a lot. I just hope Ali can play till he's 40.
Yes, definitely. Definitely a goalkeeper.
I'm going to go right down, boys and girls. And Shara said, Man City made over 60 million profit for Alvarez. 60 million. That's a lot, that.
The day of reckoning is coming for them, hopefully.
There's no Nations League or friendlies. The quality will be better than qualification games, says Brian. Do you know we never heard of Norman? I don't know what's happened, unless he's working. I don't know. Norman, yeah. You know when that comes up, and it's Norman,
Yes,
really.
yeah.
Well, I heard from him for decent.
I met him in Liverpool, yeah.
He might have come out on sympathy with you, you know, George. You haven't heard from him since. You haven't heard from him.
He came to see you, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's when he was
Same
still
he came
on.
to see
But
me.
he hasn't been on here for how long has he hasn't been on, JK? JK, you there, JK? Go
He's gone to the toilet.
Oh, is he?
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's,
I don't
I
know.
think he, I think he runs out the chippy myself to the chippy.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah says, Shahzad says, question for you, Frank, JK, and George. Why don't media question FSG? They stay quiet. Well, yeah, one of the reasons why the media don't question, to be honest, Shahzad, is they could not be invited back again into the press conferences and things like that. It's just like the Sun. The Sun newspaper did it to us, and Jürgen banned them. Jürgen banned them, and they've been banned ever since, which is right, you know, for the Merseyside, the whole of Liverpool, Merseyside,
Yeah.
and you know, so they're afraid. It's like some podcasters who get free tickets. I can name them, but I'm not going to name them. They get free tickets off the owners, and they don't criticise them.
Well,
They do not criticise them.
it's not right, is it? That not right?
No, it's not right because you know if they criticise them, they're afraid they lose the tickets.
Well, they don't take questions, Frank, do they? I've never seen John Henry be interviewed.
No, no. The only time he's ever been interviewed, I forget what it was over, and it was on nothing. It was just like. You know, hi John Henry, how are you? You know, I've just bought me
Don't make
350
himself available.
yacht. Yes, of course. So that's it, Shahzad. That's it. That's Brentford Man United international break. Forest, Bournemouth, Wolves. Says Neil Broderick.
Well done. Yeah. Two away games up and one home one. Tough start.
Agree. The South Americans very rarely fail and don't clear off like the AFCON players every 2 years in January because he's talking to Scherzer. The Anfield Ross says it as well. Perhaps they are not good enough and the work permit is an issue. I'm wondering what they're talking about. I'm wondering what they're talking about because I went right down to try and keep up. You know what I
Sounds like
mean?
American players.
Yeah.
Remember, we were going to go for that boy Andre, and that all cooled down. Then they're supposed to go back for him again after Zubimendi turned down. But it's all gone quiet now.
But that's the way it's been all the time.
Yeah.
It's the way it's been all the time, you know, because I was talking to Steve Evans today and he's sick of it. He said, you know, we haven't got anyone. Everyone else is buying. But the crux of his, you know, comment to me on the phone, he said, we do need players.
Yeah.
We do need. He said a couple of injuries, like a couple of years ago, when we had to play the likes of or brought Inca back and Nat Phillips. He said it could easily go pear-shaped again.
Why, Frank? I don't understand why the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea can come up with this 60 million here, 50 million there, and we should be able to do that comfortably with the money
Easy,
we must have. You know,
yeah,
really.
of
The money we've
course.
had for the Premier League position, the European Cup, etc., etc. And we're not in trouble with the financial fair play like Chelsea could be and others. You know, so I still understand it why they're allowed to do it.
What do you think, JK? You know what George has just been saying because I totally agree with him. You know the money's there. It is. but it's not there, if you know what I mean. I know it's a juxtaposition.
Look, at the end of the day, like when I look at Chelsea and I look at Man United, I've looked at how much money they've wasted and the players they've wasted.
Yeah, that's true.
They've signed some big names. In the last week, Chelsea have signed Pedro Neto from Wolves, and today they signed up what's his name from Atletico Madrid.
I know who you mean.
Portuguese, that lad there. So he ain't even that good. I can't even remember his name. But they're always doing some business. You know, the problem with them is they ain't got a manager who can handle all them players. If they had Jurgen Klopp there, they'd be dangerous. You know, they can sign how many players they want. As long as if that manager can't do the most important job, putting it all together, it doesn't matter which players they get. You know, they've had De Bruyne over the years, Hazard. They've had some big names there. You know, so I think with us guys, we don't sort of really waste money. We don't really make mistakes in the transfer world. For me, Kiate number one in the Klopp era. Other than that, maybe Ox, but Ox still did more than what any of these Chelsea players or United players have done. You know, United buying players all the time as well. I think United today are after Ugarte from PSG. They're sort of pushing for that.
And the boy's just been injured as well. He's out for 3 months.
Yeah. So he got injured in training, didn't he, straight away?
See, this is it. You spend all that money. Chelsea got 42 professionals. I mean, they're trying desperately to offload 12 of them, including Sterling. So they're trying to get rid of players. And they're not winning games. They lost 2-0 at the weekend. They finished the middle of the table last year. And they spent millions and millions and millions. I mean, I don't know how they get away with it.
Yeah, because you know what it is, George? Because they're looking at them players as assets. Because they're putting on such long contracts, 7 years. That's money there. For them, that's not really a player who might not even be involved with the first team all the time.
Easy money. It's easy money, isn't it? 8 years contract. You don't have to worry. There's no pressure on you to perform.
Yeah. And also, like, you can get teams who say, you know what, I'm going to put a bid in for him, even more than they actually paid for him. For example, imagine they snapped up someone for 20 million. And someone's like, you know what, I'll give you 40 million for him because he's a name, he's at Chelsea or whatever it is. So they're looking at as these players as assets. Is it American way to do it? Maybe, because their owners are American now. So they're thinking like that, in that way. If we get these guys on long-term contracts with low wages, not high wages, we've always got them on the side to sell. So we've got enough players there we could sell. So that's what they're looking at. Like, that's what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go through a few. It's like what Shahzad said there. Other clubs like Brighton and Man City have no issue. Man City signed 3 young top South Americans from Argentina. It's as simple as that.
Brighton are busy. Yeah. Brighton are proper busy now. They're signing it. Like, they've signed a few okay players. And they've got a guy from Leeds. Was it yesterday? They got a guy from 40 million, the Brazilian lad from Leeds. They got the guy from who used to play for Fornoid, Reefer, I think his name is. So they're doing business. Brighton, West Ham are doing business as well. You know, Liverpool are the only club who hasn't done any business. That's just amazing, and like, come on, man. Any people who support Edwards and Hughes and FSG, they got to look at that. You know, it isn't like, oh, we're so good, we don't need no one. Every team needs someone. Even Man City needed someone. You know, they got rid of who did that? They let Alvarez went to Atletico Madrid. Look at that there as well. They got 82 million for that guy.
Yeah,
you know.
You've got to build when you're successful, haven't you? We've always said that, Frank.
Exactly.
We've always said you've got to. That's what Paisley did. You've got to build when you're successful. That's how you become more successful. You can't let the grass grow under your feet.
Well,
exactly, George.
You strengthen the team. It's not only that. I've said this time and time again, up till now, that is, the teams above us, that was Arsenal and Man City, they've strengthened, so they're going to be better than they are this season than they were last season. And below us, you have the likes of Aston Villa buying players.
Yeah.
You see, so everybody else below us is strengthening. Everybody else.
We brought in some
You
good
know,
players.
and it doesn't matter we brought in a new manager or what, or new backroom staff. We've just sat still, and that's wrong, because we do need players. It's not that we don't need any, but we do.
We
And that's the
should be
problem.
settling for fourth position in the Premier League. We should be going to win it. We're
Every time.
Liverpool. We're the most successful team in British football
Yeah,
in the last,
yeah,
European. Nobody's near us. Nobody's near us as far as European Cups are concerned. And that's the biggest competition of the lot.
yeah. We're the apex
Yeah, so
of British football. It's as simple as that, George. We're the top. We are the creme de la creme.
need to start acting like it, in the board level.
Well, Pig Venus says, good evening, my Scouse friend. Good evening, Venus. And Neil Brother, thinking of you, Darryl. And the Bonkers says, Bobby
Bonkers.
Firmino and Mane, they were the best signings, he reckons.
Yeah. When them three were together, Manny, Firmino and Salah, that was the best.
You can get better than that. Wow.
Unbelievable. I'd go for more. One of our greatest ever players, a Liverpool legend, says Ian Mack. So he goes for that. And Humphrey Rose, Shazat Smith. All that dual nationality, it's difficult market unless they all got international appearances too. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry there, but he has to go down. Night, everyone. Popped in to say hi. I'll be back. You'll never walk alone.
Yeah, good night, Darryl. God bless.
Good night, everyone.
God bless, Darryl.
And they're all saying good night, the Anfield Road. Richard Hutchinson, Brian, yeah. And Ian Mack says, how's George Sefton going to these all them players out, Richard?
With great difficulty.
That's true, that. I'm going to be controversial behind Lionel Messi, says Anfield Road. Mo Salah is the second best inside forward of all time.
Well,
That's
it's a big claim. It's a big claim. All time's a long time, isn't it? There's been a lot of fantastic players over the years. But he's right up there.
Do you ever remember, George? You won't remember this fella, I'm afraid, JK, but George will. Well, two players. One, Ferenc Puskas, and the other was Hadji. I think Hadji was an old Romanian, wasn't he?
He was Romanian, Hadji,
Yeah.
left foot. And so was Puskas. The Galloping Major, they called him. The Major in the Hungarian army. And they battered England. He was 6-3 at Wembley. He scored a
I
hat-trick.
thought he was Hungarian. No,
He was
but
Hungarian, Puskas. Puskas was Hungarian.
Yeah, he's Hungarian, yeah.
unbelievable.
He came to Melwood once. Came to Melwood. And he took 6 penalties with his suit and shoes on and scored them all. Against Tommy Lawrence, yeah. Came on the pitch with his suit and a little hat. And he took 6 penalties. Shankly was absolutely waxed analytical.
I wonder, like the Shanks then, like if we moved them like to today, and the likes of Puskás came on, I wonder if he was bought. The way players are being bought and sold and whatever. I wonder if he was bought or got in for him.
Yeah. He's a magician.
Yes. I think that's a great comment by the Anfield Road. Youssef, sorry to hear about your loss. They're all saying it. Brian, Jürgen's best player was already signed for me, Jordan Henderson. But here's a question for the lads. Right? Would Jürgen have signed him?
Yeah. I think he would.
I
In his
don't
prime.
know.
His prime.
I don't know. I really don't know. And he was that far away. The Jurgen Klopp made him into what he was.
How
Ferguson
yeah.
criticised him, didn't he?
Yeah,
Said he was
yeah,
flat-footed.
yeah.
If Henderson was playing for us last season, I think we would have won the league.
I liked
Not
Henderson.
because of his football
I did
skills,
like him.
because of his
He gave
energy, his
100%
mouth.
in every game, didn't he? He gave 100% in
Yeah,
every game.
yeah.
His legs went out, didn't he? His legs went his final season with us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
I don't
know,
like the way. I just don't like the way him and Gerrard left the club. If you understand my point, it's really bad actually when you really look at it. Gerrard left because Brenda came in. His main mission was to get rid of Gerrard because Gerrard was too big for the club. You know, like in the owner's eyes. Henderson, the way he left as well, it wasn't. He got a game and all the fans came to see him, and he went around the pitch with his family. Nothing. So that's really bad. That guy gave his soul to Liverpool Football Club. He's not even a Scouser, Jordan Henderson. He's from Sunderland. But still, he gave 100%, you know. You heard Trent do an interview regarding Henderson, how he helped him in his early on in his career. So, look, I just don't understand why Henderson wasn't given a respectful leaving party or a respectful leaving game. He was just shipped off straight to Saudi and then he went to Ajax, you know. Real bad that is. And that's why I'm a bit cautious with the Van Dijk and Mo Salah sort of contract situation. I think they're going to just leave, you know, just like under just a quick, swift, I'm going here now, the way Henderson went, you know. I hope not. I hope we show a bit more respect to guys who leave the club. I think that's very important, you know, because you see the way Anfield's TV, there's a lot of old, like Gary Gillespie, Ray Houghton. These guys come do commentary. They come on the TV channel. I just feel that the way we let our modern team, that's like in the last 10 years, the way we've let loads like Henderson leave, Mane even, you know, he just sort of went to Bayern just like that. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was very
we let
sudden.
Jimmy Ronaldo go, and we've never replaced him.
Yes, that's right. That's right, Frank.
Jimmy Ronaldo.
Yeah. We should have kept him without a doubt. He was a fantastic player. And he didn't do that much when he left either.
He never. No one does really. Look at Coutinho, went to Barca, did nothing.
Suarez.
I agree with you, JK, about Henderson. I mean, you know, I was disappointed when he went to Saudi and Gerrard when he went to Saudi. But Henderson, like you say, gave blood for the club. He was captain when we won the league. Come on, you know, I mean...
Exactly. He did what a lot of people haven't done in 30-odd years. You know, he got us that league title, Henderson. I always said about Henderson, it's more his... I think him, like Gerrard being there, he probably gave him loads of tips, you know, when he first got into the team early on. And I think Henderson over the years, with Klopp together, sort of became a better player. You know, should have started for England, not in this tournament, the one before. I think he was still good enough to play in that. But I just feel the way he just left the club, he wasn't right for me.
And also, it was sad when he went to Saudi Arabia. It didn't work out for him, did it? He went over there and it didn't work out, and then he ended up at Ajax.
Fabinho, shame.
Yeah. But they were all coming to the end. They're all coming to the end of their career.
Yeah, they were all. And that's why we needed replenishing. But I said 2 years before, though, George.
Yeah, you did. When we had all that trouble a few seasons ago.
Yeah, it was shocking. You know, that was one of the worst. You know, we had under the big Yeg. Yeah. And it wasn't his fault. He couldn't buy anyone because he had no money. And the excuse was to stand in it. I can't believe it. Anyway.
Is it finished yet, Frank? The stand?
It's nearly finished.
Oh, God.
They put a couple of loose bricks in today. I was looking at it. They're still putting seats in. You know, the lower part of Anfield Road, it's right at the back of the lower end. And there's still seats along the final rows of seats, 2 rows, I think. But anyway, let's
What
hope
about the
that
main stand? You know, the main stand, the seats look white. They're meant to be bright red. They look
yeah,
white. What they do, they use fire, don't they, to get the color to come back. They use them gas like filter things where they can just sort of blow it onto the chair, and what happens, the color comes back. That's how they do it. So I hope they've done it for the Sunday's game because it's the first game of the
I
season.
still think, though, boys. I still think, boys, it's a fantastic experience being in Anfield now. When you're in the cup and you're looking at that stadium now, I mean, the stadium is fantastic. I think. Look at Old
It's
Trafford.
looking better.
It's a dump, Old Trafford. You know, it
It is.
really is. Liverpool's at least
Mm-hmm.
the stadium worthwhile. And of two good stadiums in the city when everyone get theirs.
yeah, yeah.
And one of them might be in Division 2.
That's the thing. After getting battered 3-0 at home first game, I was well shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Everton, for me, they have to really make sure they're not in the first division going into that new stadium. Very important for them, guys. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, anyway,
We don't care really, do we?
well, anyway,
Well, we do. We want an easy 6 points every season. We don't want them to be relegated.
well, anyway. Ian Max says, I reckon Quincy was angry with himself on the bench, knowing the type of lad he is. He will take it on the chin, learn from it, and bounce back even stronger. Nice one, Ian. Nice one. I like Braithwaite. Big, strong lad, says Neil Broderick.
70 million.
Liverpool needs to get back the pulling power. We are Liverpool, clubs lower than us, more spending. You know, we're last at spend. I think that's what he means, but they're spending more than us. We are in the EPL, UCL, FA, and EFL Cup. And what he's trying to say is all these cups that we're in, and we've brought no one in, but we've sold a few. Yo, Felix, says Richard Hutchinson. Was anyone?
Yeah, like, I don't understand that player, João Felix. That's the guy that Chelsea brought, who was on about from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
It's his second time he's there. He's cost 46 million. He cost Atletico Madrid over 100 million. What has that guy done in football? What has he done, this lad? Come on, man. So Chelsea are willing to pay nearly 46 million, I think, on this guy who hasn't done nothing for the last 5-6 years since he's been on the scene. Like, the guy got to move to Barcelona. He didn't do nothing. It's like, come on, man. This is what I'm saying. Football has a lot of people in there who don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like, why are you going after João Felix? Come on. Give me a reason why you're getting the guy. Come on. And they won't give you one. Why? Because he's a big name or whatever it is. He couldn't even get into the Euros, Portugal first 11. I think he made a subs appearance. He's not that good. Padre Neto on the other stance of it, for me, I would have took him at Liverpool. I just don't understand why we wasn't involved in that. Neto is quality. And I know people are going to say, what about his injury record, this, that, and the other. But everyone can get injured, don't get me wrong. But he'll stay fit at Chelsea now, watch. But he's at the wrong club. We should have took it.
Do you think, JK and Frank, do you think some of these young lads are dazzled by the lights of London? I mean, because London's an easy option for them, isn't it? Capital city, 6-year contracts, young lads, because a lot of them seem to be going to London clubs like West Ham and Chelsea and Arsenal. And it's a bigger decision to come to Liverpool, being in the north of England. And you've got the pool of the badge, the pool of the club, pool of the history. And you had the pool of club as well, which maybe Slot hasn't quite got that yet.
But what that's someone said there, we need the pulling power back.
Yeah.
Look,
we've got the European Cup. That's the one thing we got, and we've got the history, and we've got the team and quality. But yeah, you're right, Frank. We need to get the pulling power back.
Okay, now here's my point, and please don't have a go at me. Don't all come at me. Yeah, Arnie Sloot, he was talking 48 hours before the decision by Dubamendi, right? See the way it said Dubamendi? That's how you pronounce his name, Gubamendi. Anyway, he was talking to him 48 hours before his decision. And I said, if that would have been Jurgen Klopp talking to him, I'm sure he would have signed for Liverpool. And I think that's what whoever said it, about the pulling power.
Yeah, I think we're stuck with that. A big point, Frank. A big point. Because Jurgen Klopp had the charismatic appeal. He'd proved he'd won everything, really. And you've got the mix of Liverpool Football Club in the history with a manager who is a real icon, like Shankly was. And no matter how hard Slot works, until he wins something big, he's going to struggle to have that appeal. He's made a good start, to be fair to the lad. We haven't lost a game yet. We won the first game. But, this season is a huge season for the club, I think, in a number of ways. With a new manager and new coaching staff, and a lot to achieve this year. And not having signed anybody, we're not getting off to a difficult start,
The thing is, George, I just made a comment about it was just an opinion by talking to that Zubamendi, and he walked away from us. I'm talking about Sleuth. And I said, if Klopp would have been talking to him, I think he would have come. I think he would have just said, yeah, I want to join you.
Yeah.
Now, I'd be called, someone would say, Carlyle doesn't like Slot, or, whatever they say. And they're wrong. They're wrong. I'm just giving an opinion. And because you give an opinion, you can't differentiate between an opinion and what you're supposed to say, or what they're supposed to have said and have said, which is wrong. It's ridiculous.
Well, football's all about opinions. That's it. It's all about opinions.
It is. Of course it is. It's just like did the men go to the moon? You've got conspiracy theorists saying they didn't go. It was impossible. But it's like that. But I'm only giving an opinion about Slot. And I'm not saying that Jurgen's a greater manager than Slot, or, vice versa. All I'm saying is, if that would have been Slot talking to the lad, he would have been pulled in. That's the pulling power of people. The way Spurs fans are chatting before last night's match versus Spurs, they forgot they've got as many trophies as Arne Slot has hair follicles.
Tottenham always want to be big. I think that's the London thing as well. All these teams in London. You got Arsenal. Look at Arsenal. Never win a Champions League. Tottenham never win a Champions League. Only Chelsea got 2. They always want to be up there. Tottenham, Arsenal, even West Ham. But it's, for me, that's why the Northwest is the greatest part of England regarding football. Yeah. You got Man United, Man City, and Liverpool. You can't get better than that.
Well, we won more than Arsenal last year, didn't we?
Yep.
We won the League Cup. They won nothing.
They won nothing. They got a corner. They won a corner. That's about it. Yeah. But he spent a lot of money.
First is first.
You say that again, sir?
That's what Shank said.
Yeah.
Well, Richard says we should have kept either Fabinho and Henderson last season as a defensive midfielder. But Neil says Henderson smelt a big payday, and he did.
Yeah.
But I think Henderson would have still got a big payday a year later, I feel. I just felt like last season we needed a guy in midfield who would talk. We had Szoboszlai, McAllister and Endo. None of them were talking. Very rarely. I'd see maybe McAllister now and again, but Henderson, that was his job on the pitch, to talk. Because I think I heard a mic when I think Trent was, Henderson was mic'd up for a game. And you could hear what he was saying throughout the game. You wanted to see how he was saying to Trent, "Come on, lad," and encouraging him. And you need a guy like that in the team.
You do. You definitely need somebody like that. Definitely.
We lacked that last season.
Yeah, believe it yet. Fozzie's World. Fozzie's World.
Let's
This
go.
is defo not the LFC way. Any idea what he means there? Is that buying or what? I just don't know. Because I went right down, you see, to try and keep up. James MK says, well, Frank, just popping in. Anderson, Fabinho, Bobby, their legs went under Klopp's high-octane football brand. It was Hendel's time to go.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, it was. I totally agree with you there, James. The Fozy. Hi, Frank, JK, and George. You'll never walk alone.
Bless Fozzie.
Hi, man.
The main stands is a fantastic sight for me to look at every home game, says Neil Dillon. Because don't forget, he sits in the cup.
Yeah, brilliant.
Does Neil. Sits on the cup, and he sits on a beach somewhere as well, with his lovely wife, Angela. He's always bloody going away. Not that I'm jealous, like. Richard Hutchinson, free transfer. Marino, Reina, Milner, Firmino, Keita, Thiago, Matip, Lallana, Ox, Ginny, Origi, Markovic, and Adrian.
That's interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting list.
That's a big list.
I didn't realise there was as many, to be honest.
You've got forwards, defenders, goalkeeper, midfielders. You've got every position on there, and they all went for.
Keita cost 40 million, didn't he?
Who's yours? Who cost 40?
Keita, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
64. 64 million.
64. That's even worse.
Yeah. Plus wages. He's £100 million all in. 100 million all in, Kiate. That for me, it's like we have to wait for him for a season as well, you know. I think that was the only signing out of the Klopp era that really was messed up, not good at all. It wasn't Klopp's fault, you know, but at the end of the day, Klopp wanted him, I heard.
Well, you look good I watched him playing on YouTube, and you look good in Germany. And then he came over here, he had a couple of good games, and then he hardly played at all.
His best game was United away, when Pogba got the red card on him. That was his best game for Liverpool.
Yeah, Fozies well, really enjoyed the channel, bro. Cheers for the welcome. That's nice, isn't it? Because Fozie's a nice lad.
Yes, a nice lad. I've seen him, yeah. Very knowledgeable.
Football have too many middlemen, says Richard.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah. We all want to get paid. All want to get paid. And agents are sort of telling their guy to go to a club. Why? Because they're offering like 30, 40 grand extra a week, you know. The agent isn't really bothered if it's a success or not. At the end of the day, he just wants to get that deal done so he can get his cut out of it, you know. You've got to look after the players, choose which club that guy is going to go to, you know. Because after that, he can go to even a bigger club. That's like agents need to really think about the future as a player. Don't just send him off to Chelsea and he sits on the bench for the next 4 years. You know, like, come on. Footballers sometimes don't realise what position they're in. They think they're 21. Oh, they've got decades left to play football. 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years later, they're like, oh, he's finished. That's what football's like now.
JK, it's a short career. And when you finish, it's devastating. Because your life has completely changed. Because you've done nothing else since the age of probably 15 until you're about 35. Playing football, easy life, training, being, especially in the modern game, being feted by everybody, the big star, you know, and all of a sudden you're nobody in a sense. You're back to the normal world. The only consolation these days is they've got so much money to cushion the blow.
Exactly.
Well, Brian's asking when's Fozy on and what time's your channel and whatever. So if you're there, Fozy, let him know. Let Brian know, or Jaden as you're looking now. should be standards if you qualify for the Champions Leagues. You sign a few players. Imagine the spin if we didn't qualify, says Neil Broderick. I'm talking about, going out before we could get into the. Do you see what I mean? You're in the Champions League and you get knocked out. The first round.
I think Rangers are out already.
Yeah. It's true what Neil's saying there, because at the end of the day, we've heard that excuse enough times where, because we ain't got no Champions League, that's why we're not really going to spend big this summer. Chelsea haven't had Champions League for a while now. They don't care, Neto in there, Felix in there now. We've used that excuse too many times, the owners. They've used that excuse too many bloody times. They've been here long enough now. I think they're taking the rip, sometimes. I think they're taking the mickey out of the fans.
Yeah. They are, of course they are. Of course they are. As Richard says, football have too many yes men. I totally agree with that.
That's true.
James Mack, conspiracy defined one or more people cover up an act. How many conspiracies have been proven? Yeah, loads of conspiracies, to be honest.
But Bush was the guy who brought that word up into the world, all these conspiracy theories. As soon as he said that, everyone knew. When anyone says, it's conspiracy theory, straight away you're going to think, it's not true. So he did that.
Exactly, because the truth is, you've got called a conspiracy theorist. If you call something whatever, you get called a racist. If you get called, you're called homophobic. You get called Islamophobic. So this is what it's all about. They've got a name for every category now.
Yeah.
And you're afraid to open your mouth.
Yeah, that's right. You never know what you're going to be charged with.
Yes. And you go to jail.
Yeah.
Neil Broderick says Zubimendi deal was going through till he was told to trigger his own release clause, which meant, theoretically, he would miss out on a 3 years pay. My understanding is if a club selling triggers the sale, then they have to pay remaining your wages. That's why the deal fell apart.
Yeah, I think if he really wanted to come to Liverpool, he would have made it happen. I don't think he wanted to come. He wanted to stay where he is. Maybe it's his wife and family. I don't know. But he doesn't want to come out, especially that. It looks like JK said, he's turned down a few of the big clubs as well.
Yeah. Anyway, James again. What's this? Atalanta away. Fosie's well.
I think is it Hendo's last game, was it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Because he follows up by saying the way Enzo left.
Yeah.
Enzo was pushing that stuff, not for me. That woke stuff in kids is a no-no. Yep, totally agree. She makes me go, Frank. I blame Ange. I ate sand. That's when I mentioned about, when he's sitting in the stands looking at but he's always sitting on the bloody beach with lovely Angela. That's what he's saying.
Not bad. Good life.
Yeah. Why not? What's your take on Gomez leaving, gents? JK.
It looks like it's going to happen. Wasn't involved at all against Ipswich. So maybe it's time for him if he wants to go. I think it's his decision. Club-wise, I think the club will probably want to keep him. But I just feel he's been in Liverpool a long time now. Could miss home. Could miss London. We don't know. He might be down there all the time. He's got free. So But professional-wise, for me, one of the best professionals we've had at the club in a long time, you know.
Yeah, you never hear him, see him moaning or anything. He just carries on.
Yep.
Just carries on with, his profession.
Also, he's so versatile. He can play in any position, can he? Play right across the back four, midfield, anything really in the back.
Yeah.
And but he needs games, doesn't he? He needs games. He needs to be playing, and they get a good fee for him if he goes. I'd like to see him stay, but I have a feeling he's going to go, JK.
But the thing is, George, we need a replacement for him, and we won't get one.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you need to replace him before you let him go, ideally.
It's just ridiculous. The players that we've never replaced is unbelievable. Liverpool, even before FSG, have always done it.
It's a difference between winning the league and finishing third.
And Jay says, Frank, late, but always here when I can. That's good. He plays football, Jay, so he must have been playing. Anyway, George, do you think Salah has a bit of a Kevin Keegan about him? Every time I watch Mo with that physique and body shape, I see bits of Keegan in it. He is a machine.
Because Shankly said, about Keegan, he was first in training, first over the hurdles, first in everything. I remember he said, if he really wanted to, he could be Prime Minister. He's a fantastic player, Keegan. Salah does remind me of him because he's non-stop Salah. He's always making things happen. And that's what Keegan used to do, cause trouble. He used to, what did Shankly say? He used to drop bombs in the penalty box. He's a similar player, that definitely.
But as I said before, more or less at the beginning of the show, that he's still got 2 years left, in my opinion.
At least, yeah.
Still got 2 years. This window seems to always be a hammer the media can knock our great club with and stir up our fans into fits of madness. As far as I'm concerned, we've always been slow and quiet in the market.
Yeah, we have.
Give you that, like, but give you that. I don't like it at all, Fozzie. I'm not happy about it. Where are they going to get someone as versatile as Joe to replace him? As you said, George, he's plays in every position across the back line. And I said, I think it was when Spurs went after him last November, not November gone, the year before. And I said, that's why they want him, because Spurs, that is, wanted him because he's the best versatile player in the Premiership.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone like Joe playing in every position at the back four, every position. And as you said, George, he can play in midfield too.
You can, you can play the whole of the back. The only one comparable would be Milner, but Milner wouldn't play centre half. He could play both full-backs and he could play midfield. But Gomez is the most versatile player I've came across for a long time. It's not easy playing different positions.
No, it isn't. It isn't that easy. The Redbird says, anyone interested in murder most foul, check out Frankie's show tomorrow at 8. Yeah. I do murders, famous murders in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And we started so I've got that coming up tomorrow, tomorrow night. I've got a couple of great ones lined up, actually. And I forgot to mention.
You come into the same category as Gomez. You're versatile.
Versatile.
You can talk about anything.
Exactly.
But I've got I've got a current affairs show on Friday night as well. With a guest talking about everything that's going on. It's nothing at all to do with football or films, and we do the film, the film and TV review of a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Bloody
And
hell.
they all joined in because
That's bigger than BBC.
but that's chat, isn't it, JK? They all love films because that's all we ever do is watch a film, watch football and a film.
Yeah.
Chat on the the thing.
Yeah. I also had you got driven over the water, and it was the wrong day.
Oh, mad it was. I was standing there, and she said, "Oh, it's next week." And I went, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah, that's blimey."
That
But,
happened to me as well the other day, Frank. I went somewhere for an appointment. It happened to me as well. I went for my eye test. The woman said to me, "It's tomorrow." I'm like, bloody hell. It took me a mission to get there and that. But she said, "You know what? Someone's cancelled. You can do it now." I was like, fair play.
So you got to
Yeah,
got it done.
To the dentist.
That's brilliant. That's great. It really is. Because the people were great. And George, honest, I went in, and with all the violence and everything else, and what's going on over there in the Middle Eastern places. And when I said, listen, I said, I'm going to do a happy talk today. And they all went, this is at 11:30 in the morning. And they all went, the two little old ones. One fella was there, lovely man. So, I said, just a happy talk. And they all went, oh, okay. They all sat there like that. Do you know what I spoke about? Wars and everything. Wars. It's just wars. And I went like that at the end, I said, I'm awfully sorry about that. I said, will you invite me back again? And they all went, yeah. So I'm invited back in there.
You must have sent them home happy anyway.
But it was. Do you know a pub by the name of the Nelson Hotel or the Nelson Pub?
Well, this side of the water.
Wallasey, yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful. It's a mock tube building. Took a photograph of it. That's because I'm impressed with buildings. And mock tubes are fantastic. It was.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The Red Bears at the Anfield Road. They are Red Bears, take them. And Ian back being a great player for us, Joe. He's talking to Fozzie. Be sad if he leaves, but if he wants to play regularly, then he goes with our blessing, I think. He does go with our blessing, but I wouldn't like to see Joe go.
Yeah, I remember that's why Origi had to go. He couldn't get a regular game, even though he was a legend.
Yep.
And Fozzie's saying, AJK, he said, the game we had, Enzo...
in an empty stadium.
Yeah, it was an empty stadium. He said that though, didn't he?
The COVID.
Okay.
He said it. James MK. It was made up to push back on the JFK narrative, your conspiracy. You're a conspiracy nut if you don't go with the lone gun pit story. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's a very good broken point.
Yeah, from the grassy knoll on the bottom and the book depository.
Oh yes, And
I remember where I was when I was in the girlfriend's front room.
That was mad. That was a mad. The assassination. The assassination, and they blamed it on one fella who never had a gun that was capable.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Ruby Andy.
And same, I'll tell you who else was the same as well. Martin Luther King. When he was assassinated, he blamed it on James Earl Ray. And he went, I never did this. What are you blaming me for? It's the CIA.
Yeah.
Don't do it and blame someone. And that's how bad they are. Because they knew that the black communities all up and down, if they never got anyone for Martin Luther, because he was a good man, Martin Luther,
Oh yeah, the most amazing speech in history. One of the most amazing speeches in history.
I had a sketch of him in a little frame, and I used to have a fella on my show every week. Not every week, but he came on my football show, and he also came on my history show as well, because he had an history show a few years ago, and he loved Martin Luther King, and he was a big fan of his. So I had this drawing sketch of him, beautiful it was, and then a little summary of Martin Luther King himself on a signature. And I went, here, I said, that's yours, there. And he couldn't believe it. But anyway, I gave him it. And he died. The lad died.
Gee.
And I went up to the college he was teaching in, and someone had took it. I wanted it back, because he died, like.
Yeah.
And he was working in this college. Anyway, I went to the college. I said, I gave, and he said, it's gone. Someone took it.
He's taking it. Yeah. Gee.
It's just sad. But, it's just one of those things. James carries on by saying, Gomez plays in lots of position. You need players like him. If he goes, we need a replacement.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Simple as that. I'll just go on. I'm going to say three. I'm going to say three more, and we'll finish, boys. Neil Broderick, Anfield Roar, and Anfield Roar again. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Just these three. Let me finish these three, right? Another great show. Thanks, Frank, George, JK. Lots of interesting content, opinions. Night, everyone, says Neil Broderick.
God bless. Good night.
He's going for a glass of wine on the beach, yeah. But he's in New York or somewhere.
Yeah.
Anfield Roar. Yeah. Anfield Roar. Question for the panel. Are people pretty content with the sales of Carvalho and Clark and the add-ons we will receive once them lads move again? I'm sad Clark is gone, but Naomi is a talent. Let me finish off by this. Kevin Keegan in Superstars came off that bike. Ouch. You remember that? Ouch, Keegan.
Yeah.
I would love it. Yeah, I would love. Yeah, I remember that. I would love it. I'd love it. That was the Ferguson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But what's your take? I didn't want Carvalho to go.
No. In many ways, Carvalho a gifted player, and he didn't fulfill 100% his potential. But he did really well at Hull, and I was looking forward to seeing him at Liverpool, see what he could do this season. But when I look at it logically, it didn't seem he wasn't going to get that many minutes, Frank, was he? If you look at the players we've got in midfield, we've got about 6 midfield players, all quite classy players, and it's probably wise to go to Brentford. You get regular football there, and they're not a bad side. And he's in London, and he's getting good money, so I wish the lad
They could have sent him on loan. They could have sent him on loan. They could have said to him, where would you like to go? And asked what other club.
Yeah. How much did they get for him? 30 million?
Yeah, 30, something like that.
27.
27.
27. Yeah.
Not great.
Quite cheap by modern standards.
Well, I think it's... well, what do you think on that comment there, JK, about Carvalho and that?
Yeah. Look, you know what? Like, I was going on about Kwanzaa and his face in the second half, I'm not into stroppy players, Carvalho last season, stroppy. Every time I seen his face, after that Newcastle game where he scored, after that he was just not last season, season 4. He's just had a stroppy sort of aura about him. Fair enough, like when you're young and you're talented, you just want to be playing football. But for some reason, him and Klopp sort of never got on. And I'm thinking it's very easy to get on with Klopp. So what was the problem there, Because if you've seen like how Harvey Elliott has been sort of in the last 2 years really pushed on with his career, Carvalho hasn't really. At Hull, he was pretty good on loan. But for me, stroppy players, there's a time and place for that. Keep it off camera, if you're pissed off or whatever it is you are, keep it behind the scenes. Don't want to see that on that, and I don't want to see players coming off the pitch and having to go at the manager. That's another thing. That's a really pet heave for me. I don't like that. There's always a time and a place to chat with the managers. Hey, I thought I shouldn't be taken off. Blah blah blah. But I think modern day footballers, they do that, and that could be for the lack of respect thing. You probably think you're too good for what you really are. Show us on the pitch how good you are. There's a time, and don't do that stroppy business. That's why with Kwanzaa on Saturday, I was a bit peed off with that. I was like, come on, lad. We just scored the first goal of the new season.
He had no reaction, did he, whatsoever?
No reaction at all.
He was obviously gutted and devastated. He's a young lad. He'll learn from that, I think. Hopefully he'll learn from it.
I think he will.
What's the story with Endo? He seems to have been a bit forgotten at the moment, doesn't he, Endo? Not playing.
Even in pre-season, George.
He wasn't getting game time yet.
Know what I mean? And I don't think that he's fitting in with him.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Sounds like he's another one that could be on the move.
Well, I said that a couple of weeks ago. I thought he was going to go. I really did. I thought he had players lined up to replace him and Gomez, to be honest. I really did.
Thought he did quite well last year,
Yeah. But,
that season was good. Yeah.
It's a shame Bobby Clark went, what Ian Max said.
It's the old story, Frank. Nobby Clark's a brilliant player, gifted player, but like me when I was at Liverpool, if you can't get into that team, you may as well go somewhere else where you're getting first-team football.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
If you're blocked by world-class players and you can't see a way of getting in the team permanently, you've got to go.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to say to them all, we've got another pod on Thursday at the same time, 8 o'clock. So join me. I've got all the murders tomorrow at 8 o'clock. That's the famous murders of Liverpool. But I don't do ordinary ones, George. I do very controversial ones, Yeah. It's no use doing something. Say like Kennedy, for example. I won't be doing Kennedy, but say the likes of Kennedy, and there is controversy over it. Like Marilyn Monroe, there's controversy over her death as well.
Yeah.
So, but I do trials that happens in Liverpool, going back a few years as well.
Yes.
And so it's good. And I just say to them, what do you think? Do you think that he was guilty, she was guilty, or whatever? And it's very hard. It's very hard to say, if you weren't guilty or if you ain't guilty. So it puts a little seed, and that's what I do. Very controversial.
And tune in for
murder. So I've got that on tomorrow night. I've got the podcast again, the football, Liverpool. On Friday night, I've got the current affairs. If you're into the current affairs, I'm talking about abroad this time. Not here. Abroad, and also the film and TV review on Saturday morning. Me and JK.
Yeah.
Right, JK? See, he's got a chippy again.
Still there, JK?
Anyway.
JK, I've sent the book to you, JK. You should have it probably tomorrow.
Okay, hopefully, yep. I'll put your link in the chat.
I posted it Monday.
Okay, thank you very much.
Listen, George, are you going into town this week?
No, not this week, because this week I'll be at the hospital every day, Frank.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing at the moment. Carol and I have got to be every afternoon because one of her family is away, and the other one's got 2 autistic children, and can't really get in during the day. So me and Carl are doing all the visiting. So I'm a bit snookered just at the moment, but I'll come on a pod next Tuesday.
Okay. So, but if you're all right, like next week, if you can pop down and see me.
Next week should be better, yeah, because hopefully we'll know what's happening then, because she's waiting for this decision on the operation. So, and she's getting slightly better, so we're quite hopeful.
That's good.
That's great. Okay, George. See you next Tuesday then, George.
Yeah, great to see you, Frank. Great to see you, JK, and all the chat. Lovely to speak to all the boys out there again. I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care, guys.
Nice seeing you, bro. Nice
Good
seeing
night
you.
now.
Thank you, George. That was great,
Top
that
lad.
was it. George,
Yeah.
George back. Hey, the lost Shankly boy found again. Found in Stanley Park. Anyway, crossing over to Everton. Anyway.
I've put George's link in the chat as well for his book.
Oh, right, okay. Have you put it in now?
Yeah. Is there, yeah, with Amazon.
It's all been talking about. See how long it goes on. I can't keep up with them all. Yeah.
There's a lot of chat.
I can't keep up with them all. I really can't. But anyway, I just wanted to thank Jason for setting everything up. You for the thumbnail, JK. You for being here as well with us. You know, it's our little pod. And all the chat has been absolutely fantastic. As you
Yeah.
know, they're all good people. And hopefully see us on Thursday. Hope to see some of you tomorrow night as well. The Mazes, that should be good. And that's about it, boys. I'm tired. I'm absolutely knackered. I've been so bloody busy. Anyway, lads, thank you for joining us. Thank you, JK. Thanks to George. And I'll see some of you tomorrow night, but hopefully I'll see you all on Thursday night, JK and myself. Thank you so much. Bye now. Bye.
Good night, guys.